Hey, it's Jesse. We're backstage with our house band, 30 Seconds to Mars. Welcome back to Dallas, guys.
It's great to be here.
People are going to start to talk. Baby, you need a microphone. You're a
Coughing
singer.
a lot
You should
because
know.
He's like, huh? What's that?
Leave him alone.
It's just the
sick.
coughing that I didn't want to do.
I was going to ask, how are you? Because I've been reading your tweets that you've been morphing up a lung here and there.
Yeah, a little bit, and you know, it seemed to leave me, and then it's coming back just to remind me that it's still lurking in the shadows.
It's kind of
But it's okay.
around the
The
bus
show
a little
will be
bit.
great. Yeah, it's circulating around the bus a little bit.
Can you do?
It makes the
you know,
shows more
it happens.
exciting.
Are you guys live streaming this or something?
Yes, we are live
You
streaming
are.
it.
So
we are
everyone's
on the
watching.
web currently, and then we'll be live on the air here in about 10, 15
We are on the
minutes.
web live.
We're live.
Do something that is really live, Tomo.
I just did. Did you see that?
So, Josh.
How about this?
Oh, my God.
What do you think about that, peeps?
That's a YouTube classic right there.
Right there.
Now,
just made it
Shannon,
happen.
did you get robbed? Did you lose your bike? Did someone steal your bike
Yes,
in
I
Miami?
lost my bike in
Word
Miami
travels
on the beach at night. No
What
one was
your
around.
beach
A
doing?
ghost
What was
stole
your
that
bike
thing.
doing on the beach at night?
I
Where were
walked
you?
it to the beach. It's a beautiful night. I thought I'd walk to the beach. I was riding anyway, so yeah, got stolen.
Just like that.
I placed it next to a cabana. I was in the next cabana. Don't ask what I was doing. And as when I got out, it was gone.
But I've heard that. What kind of bike was it? What can we do to
It's the
alleviate?
bike from Kings and Queens.
Yeah, it's the
No,
actual
no.
bike.
So if
yeah.
anybody finds the bike,
Is
they
there
get a reward.
identifying? How would you identify
It's
it if
a
someone
silver Swobo bike with a Brooks brown leather seat.
Yeah, if anybody finds it, they get to come on the tour bus for a night.
Seriously, seriously, seriously.
was watching?
travel
Your
with
record
us.
guy just spit out his drink.
No, seriously.
Hilarious.
Trust me.
We can just, that's how we'll reward you. Free tickets, free meet and greet dinner with the band, and a night on the tour bus if you find Shannon's bicycle. You heard it here first, live with The Edge.
Thank you.
Now, I wanted to ask you, I keep hearing, when I was prepping this interview, I keep hearing some buzz about a possible documentary that's sort of evolving. It started out as being something that was going to be about the record, but it's kind of grown exponentially from there. What is going on with the 30 Seconds to Mars documentary?
Hold on, I'm going to let you hear me think.
Okay. I can hear a hamster on a wheel.
Did
Go
you
ahead.
hear that? Those were
Yeah,
synapses.
Yeah,
They
sound
need to
effects,
oil
please, from the
it a
peanut
little.
Those
gallery.
were
over here.
synapses firing. Yeah, we have a documentary called Artifact we've been working on for about a year and a half. Started off as a making of the record, but it quickly turned into something else because our lives turned into something else. It was, kind of a much talked about conflict going on. The state of the world was in a really intense and uncertain place. So we started to document all of these things that were happening, and so that's being edited right now. But we actually have a whole entire bus full of editors that are working on a live video.
Oh, wow.
For a song for the next single in Europe, which is Closer to the Edge, which is I've just announced right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're making all kinds of announcements here
You
today.
are.
Jess.
And what about, now that you've mentioned a live song, what about a live album? When are we going to get a 30 Seconds to Mars live album?
That's
Live
a good. I
vinyl,
think
picture disc.
that'll be a part of the live DVD that we've been shooting.
Oh.
That started over in Europe, and Closer to the Edge is going to be this kind of collage, this really interesting, the return of Bartholomew Cubbins, but in a different way. This is War. The new video will be out in a week or two, so that's really exciting.
Can you talk about that? What's going on in the video for that one?
It's kind of the three of us play soldiers, and in a current conflict somewhere in the world, and it turns halfway through, turns into this kind of surrealistic fantasy, this metaphorical world of CGI and effects, and it's pretty intense.
Now, when I was preparing this interview, I found out some really interesting things I wanted to ask you guys about.
Oh boy.
I know.
Careful.
Here we go.
No.
I saw that mischievous
Well,
look.
who wants to go first, Shannon or Tomo?
Oh,
I'll go.
Lordy.
Well, that's actually kind of sweet. I was wondering if you would talk a little bit about Larry Slezak. Was he an artist that did you
Yes,
grow up with him?
Yes,
Who is
Larry
he?
Slezak was instrumental in my youth. He made art possible. He supplied the canvases, the paints, the instruments, and so he was a pivotal.
What now? I
That's some of
heard
my life.
you started playing drums when you were 3. You were did you pull pans out of the?
Yes, I'd pull pans and I would beat on them.
It seems like the time would be right for 30 Seconds to Mars biography, like with individual chapters on all of you, so that people could know you as kids. And also, is that?
Not
Hey, don't. Hey,
allowed.
hey.
No
Oh,
one
you
wants
don't
to
even
that.
know, honey. You don't even know. I've been doing some research on you, Tomo.
Oh boy.
Let's talk about your uncle. Was he a violin virtuoso? Did you start on the violin when you were 3?
I want to know who came up with the fact that my uncle's a violin virtuoso.
Is he
He's
not?
really amazing.
Oh, but he's
but
not a
to say
virtuoso.
virtuoso, I think it's Hock Perlman is a virtuoso.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a great
I
violinist
think
and
you're
a
a
teacher.
virtuoso, Tomo.
I'm
I
a
think you are.
virtuoso at clipping
You're
my
a-
toenails.
But didn't you start?
You're a
Did you
virtual
start on classical violin?
virtuoso.
I started violin when I was 3 years old.
And then what's the story that you went to your dad and told him that you wanted to play guitar, and did he help you make your first guitar?
We made my very first guitar together from 3 blocks of wood and some wire and solder and paint.
And you played that on what song?
On Savior, on A Beautiful Lie, on a little part of it. It was just like really just to do it more than anything, because it's not that great of a guitar, as you can imagine. Like when you're in the studio, you're playing.
But still, there's a sentimentality that would
of course.
create a sweet
It's
sound.
about the
so-
love.
Yeah, we found a place
Tomo.
for it, and it
It's
lives
the
forever now
love.
on A Beautiful Lie. So that's great.
It's the love.
You look terrified because I
I was
came-
like, where are you going with this?
No, because I've interviewed you guys so many times. It's like, how many times can I ask the same question? So I thought,
there's just a wealth of information there.
There's a wealth of different answers too to the same question.
okay, well,
You never know what you're going to get with us. It could be a yes or
I
no.
thought, is Josh in here? Josh wanted to invade at some point, but I don't know where.
He's out there
Oh,
watching
well.
Metric.
Oh,
What?
well.
No, he actually told me something that he had visited your house in Los Angeles, and that you hadn't found out until recently that Night of the Hunter was actually a Robert Mitchum movie. And I always wanted to ask you about that because it's a horrifying movie. And
I actually did know it was a film. Flood told me.
okay,
But I hadn't seen it.
Okay.
And I have since then seen it. It's a very disturbing movie, especially for its time. You know, It was a very dark, strange movie with this, biblical undertones, and Mitchum plays this real creepy guy. He's trying to get the truth out of this little kid who knows where a bunch of money is hidden. So it's very strange.